Hi there, this video looks at mass customization. It's 3.4.5 and it is this section of the specification here. An understanding of flexibility should include mass customization. So mass customization, the term is a combination of the word mass production and customization. So mass production occurs when you produce huge quantities of the same unit. It's a flow production method, suitable for kind of baked beans and producing lots of similar products on a large scale. So that's what mass production is, whereas customization is producing a product that is tailored to an individual customer's needs. So traditionally these were thought of as mutually exclusive, i.e. if you were mass producing a product you couldn't customise it, but over recent years mass customisation has become more important in manufacturing. So it's the process of mass producing goods. So we get the benefits of mass production, which are lower costs because we can get economies of scale, etc. if we're buying in bulk. So we get the benefits of mass producing goods before individually tailoring the finished product to meet the customer's needs. So what are the requirements for mass customization to be successful? Well, we need a pull rather than a push method of manufacturing. So flow production, mass production, is a push method of production. In other words, the company produces a load of products and then wants to sell them to customers. So the company produces a load of goods and it doesn't know whether or not for sure it's got the demand for those products. It just produces them, pushes them through the production process and sells them on. A pull method of production starts at the other end. So a pull method of production starts with the customer. The customer orders the product, specifying some particular features that they would like included in their product, and then the process of manufacturing the product begins. A good example of this occurs if if you're lucky enough to buy a new car. You may test drive the model in the showroom, but you may be offered the chance to customise your own model, i.e. you can choose the seats, you can choose the features like air conditioning, CD player, and the design that you want inside, particular alloys or whatever it is. You can customise an individual model, and then that model is produced specifically for you. So it requires the pull method of manufacturing, where the product is ordered by the customer before it's produced. But we also need the ability to mass produce a product. We're going to need customers that have individual preferences and an ability to identify those individual preferences and a flexible production line as well. Okay, so it requires the customer to order the good, but for us to be able to mass produce the product before individually producing the good, which requires a high level of flexibility. So what are the benefits of mass customization? Well, it allows the business to charge a higher price for starters. You can imagine that if you have customised your own car rather than just buying the standard model at the showroom, you will have to pay a bit more for that. But it simultaneously allows a business to experience economies of scale, falling average costs as we increase output. So the business can benefit from economies of scale, buying large quantities of raw materials, investing in the latest, most expensive and productive technology, because we are producing a large output. So if we can charge a higher price and experience lower costs, that should lead to increased profit margins. Customers should be highly satisfied with the products that they receive because they've designed them themselves, and the products are designed to meet the individual customer's needs. This should give us a competitive advantage over the other competitors in the market, and the workforce should be highly motivated. You know, we're not just producing the same goods day in, day out, we're matching individual customers' needs. There should be a variety of tasks to do. We may have to solve problems, the customers ask for this, how can we do it? The work should just be more interesting. However, it is going to require heavy investment in communications, so you know, having an IT system that talks to the manufacturing system so the consumer can go online and maybe order their own design of shoes. You can see that with manufacturers like Nike. You know, you can design your own shoe online, and then Nike will build it for you, or at least a variation of a popular model. It's going to require training of the workforce, and it may well require not only specialist communications but also special capital equipment, i.e. machines that can be very adaptable and change the design for each individual product. It relies on suppliers, okay, so if you're going to be flexible enough to try and meet customer needs, maybe we'll need a different quantity of supplies at different times, maybe we need different types of supplies, so you are heavily reliant on your suppliers. Also, you need to make sure that you get it right first time. You know, if you need to scrap a product and start again, that's going to increase the time of delivery, which could upset the customer. And it's going to be difficult if, you know, if the consumer rejects the product, if it's not produced correctly, they've specified something that hasn't been done, then what are you going to do with that product? You'll have to sell it at a cut price to somebody else. It's not quite what they want, so there can be issues involved around rejection if the quality is not up to standard. Okay, so that is a brief look at mass customization.